How's it going? I'm James England with Concealed Nation. Today we are covering the Walther PPS. It's clear.
All right, here we go. Dang it.
Chambered in 9mm, the Walther PPS ideally holds 6 rounds in its standard capacity with extendable magazines capable of holding 7 or 8 depending upon however long you want the magazine to be extended out. Concealability wise, I would put it right up there with the M&P Shield due to the fact that it is about 1 inch wide and the barrel length is 3 inches. Price point, this guy comes in a little bit more expensive than the M&P Shield. Sorry about using the M&P Shield a lot, it's just that's what I have a lot of prior experience with. This guy, the Walther PPS, has a couple unique features to it. One is how the magazine detaches. It detaches by this versus the standard magazine release button. I actually like it because I'm an ambidextrous shooter, so that means whether or not this is in my right or left hand, doesn't matter, I can still drop the magazine relatively easy. I'll be honest though, because this is close to the trigger, it's made me nervous. But because I have good trigger control, and thankfully I like to pay attention, that's not an issue. Shooting and performance wise, the Walther PPS is chambered in 9mm, so that is a very small, versatile bullet, which is great. And with a capacity of 6 rounds, with upgradable to 8, it has a good single stack capacity that one would expect for concealed carry applications. This is my generally warm weather pistol, because it's not very wide and it fits very well into an inside the waistband concealed carry holster. Retail, I think it comes out somewhere in the 500s, 550, maybe a little bit less. There are used ones on the market that you can get in the 400s, so that's pretty affordable. Disassembly for the Walther PPS is extremely easy, and I've included a video so you can see that process. It's super smooth. The Walther PPS has become an integral part of my concealed carry pistol armory, mostly because it is extremely compact and it's easy to disassemble. As you can see, I always start off by checking to ensure that the chamber is empty and free of any rounds. And after I've checked to ensure that it's free of rounds, all I have to do is depress a release on the side. And without even a trigger pull, I can pull the upper receiver right off. Once the upper receiver is off, it's pretty easy to take apart. The recoil spring assembly comes right out alongside the 3-inch barrel, and we are left with an open upper receiver that is good for operator level maintenance. And reassembly is equally as easy. We just start by taking the upper receiver and we put the 3-inch barrel back into it. We put the recoil spring assembly back in and just fix it into place. One thing I always check for is to make sure the recoil spring head is properly placed underneath the barrel. Not too much of an issue. And sliding it back on, all I have to do is just make sure that the back end of the upper receiver meets the rails of the lower receiver. Once that's done, I just slide it into place. A good way to find out if the Walther PPS is loaded from just an eye glance is to look at the slot on the chamber, which will give you an indication whether or not a round is present. Because the Walther standard capacity is 6 rounds, it's generally advisable, if you're able to give it that +1 by loading the magazine and loading the first round, ejecting the magazine, replacing that round, and then reinserting it back into the firearm. Once it is loaded, just go ahead and check the chamber slot to just make sure a round is seated in the chamber, and you are good to go. It's a very nice German pistol for an everyday carry. In fact, it has become my everyday carry. Especially because it's chambered in 9mm, the firearm has extremely good recoil compensation for its size.